What are the limits on political speech? We live in a democracy and we have the right to free expression, and we understand that political debate is good. So then, why does Elections Ontario want citizens to jump through government hoops in order to spend a little money advertising about a political issue? The law they're using to do this is called the Ontario Election Finances Act. The law requires that anyone who wants to spend more than $500 on political advertising must register with the government. If you've ever dealt with the government, you know registration and reporting is a cumbersome and tedious task. A registration requirement is itself an impairment on speech. And the type of speech the government wants you to register for is really broad. They define political advertising as advertising that takes a position on an issue closely associated with a political party, candidate, or leader. So, advertising about the size of government debt, about compensation for teachers, or about environmental issues are all political advertising under this law. What's worse is that this doesn't just apply during an election, it comes into effect more than 6 months before an election even takes place. And now Elections Ontario has been saying that even if there's a by election taking place hundreds of kilometers away, you can't advertise in your own community unless you register with them. This happened to a grassroots group in Vaughan who ran some ads in Toronto newspapers opposing the teachers' strikes. Elections Ontario said the group broke the law because they didn't register for their Toronto ads while there was a by election taking place in Ottawa. The ads weren't even available in Ottawa. This makes no sense. It's just a way to try to control speech. It's worth noting that teachers' unions ran ads during that same Ottawa by election, but Elections Ontario never investigated that. This type of arbitrary and subjective enforcement reeks of political bias. We live in a democracy, and our charter protects the right to free expression, and political speech should be encouraged, not discouraged. You can learn more about this issue and many others at the Canadian Constitution Foundation. Visit theccf.ca and like us on Facebook.